Good morning to all. This class we will discuss about molding sand properties, types of molding sand and molding sand preparation. First we will discuss properties of molding sand. Porosity or permeability. The molding sand must be sufficiently porous. Each and every particles have the porous. The particular porous it will be help to send the gases from inside of the molding box to outside the environment. The permeability of molding sands depends upon the grain size and shape of the particles. Plasticity or flowability. When the molding sand gets the shape and retains the shape based on the plasticity, sand will flow into all the portions of the mold and around the patterns. Once you have to place the pattern, then have to pour that molding sand, then have to ramming properly. That time the sand to distributor have to move all the places inside that molding box. So particles have the plasticity or flowability properties, then only have to move. Depends upon the clay moisture content of that molding sand. Adhesiveness. Molding sand particles stick to other materials. So here, so molding box, so pattern, molding sand. Once you have to place that pattern, then have to use that molding sand, then have to ramming. When the molding sand have that adhesiveness properties, then only have to move all the directions and have to stick with that molding box. Due to this property, molding sand sticks to the side of that molding box. It will be help when you have to molding box to lift it up, it's not fall down. Cohesiveness, which the sand particles stick together when the sand is rammed, do not collapse when the molding box are removed for pouring. It depends that grain size, shape, bonding material and moisture. So here each and every particles are stick. It will be help to bonding to them. Refractoriness, to withstand high temperature of that molten metal. Having poor refractoriness burns when the molten metal is poured. So when you have to pour the molten metal to reach that mold cavity with the support of gate passage. So near that mold cavity molding sand, it will be face high temperature. So the particular near that area have to face the molten metal temperature. So mostly in this case you have to use that facing sand is a one type of molding sand. So last one, that the collapsibility. Molten metal gets solidified. So liquid is a converted to solid. So it gives some allowable time, which is collapse easily. Finally, you have to remove the pattern. You have to remove that unwanted one. That time the sand particles it will be helped to collapse easily. So when that particles have that properties, it will be help to remove that component easy. So next we will discuss types of molding sand. So the various types of molding sand is given. So green sand, dry sand, loam sand, facing sand, potting sand and coarse sands. So it depends need depends applications you have to use that these types of sand. The green sand is mostly to prefer for the medium and small size castings. So have that moist condition, mixture of silica sand, clay and water. So dry sand mostly prefer for the large casting. So green sand is converted into dry. Just you have to prepare the green sand, and the green sand arrangements take and keep it that inside of that oven. Have to maintain some temperature and to finally to get that dry sand. Next, loam sand. So in this sand, 50% of clay. Loam sand becomes hard when it's dry. That the loam sand get hard conditions. So facing sands already said. So when you have to pour the molten metal, the near that area you have to use the facing sand. So 15 to 20 mm. You have to use that facing sand. So around that mold cavity. The facing sand contains silica sand, clay, coal dust filled around that mold cavity, direct contact with that molten metal. So compared to that other portions, that facing sand is used to near that mold cavity. Parting sand does not contain clay because to need or avoid that stick. So prevents sticking to green sand to pattern. Separate the sand in open dry bags. So mostly they prefer for that potting sand have to spray on that open dry bags that locations. Finally, coarse sand. Once had to need that hollow shape in that particular component, mostly had to prefer for that coarse sand. So mixture of silica sand, linseed or mineral oils used for to making that core with the support of core box. The last one, molding sand preparation. So what are the stages to follow to prepare the molding sand? The first one, mixing of sand. So here mixed with clay, lime, coal dust and water. So manual as well as use that some machines. So manually we have to use that shovel. It's a hand portions to lift that sand. So shovel is used to mixing when the small quantity is sand. Muller machines, that's Muller is used for mixing a large quantity of sand. So depends on applications we need to have to use. So what type of facility have to use it. Next one, tempering of sand, adding sufficient water to the sand. Muller is used for mixing, uniformly distributed throughout the sand. So compared to that manually, so Muller machines help to mixing throughout that sand. So uniformly distribution so occur in this particular operations. So last one is conditioning of sand, distributing the binder uniformly throughout the sand. Air blaster is used to separate the sand particles, increase the flowability. So flowability is already said is one of the properties of molding sand. So with the support of air blaster, the particles it will be come out separately. The particular particles it will be helped to stick together because of the molding sand have that cohesiveness properties.